You too. Welcome to the channel. Hope you guys had a great New Year. Spend some time with your family. Like I said, this channel we're gonna be talking a lot, relationship. Of course, tonight we're gonna talk about relationship. This is my wife Brandy, my beautiful wife Brandy. So we'll be on together tonight. We'll also be talking about business, gaming, and all things in between. So, tonight we're gonna be talking about, marriage, divorce, basically building a community together. Like-minded individuals. So we'll get started. We got some questions tonight. We may have some guests actually coming in as well. So, be on the lookout for that. Also, please like, subscribe, share the video out to YouTube so other people can kind of view it and kind of get the input. So, we'll greatly appreciate that. So we'll get started, babe. Anything you want to say? Anything you want to say to the people?
Well, guess that what I would like to convey is like one of the reasons that we're doing this segment is in our circle, we have discovered that a lot of us are going through similar things at different times. And so, as you, if you're married or you're in a relationship, then you understand that this is a journey.
Yeah, definitely.
And you have, your straight roads, you have your bumpy roads, and um, we just felt the need to, we have basically gone through our own things. And so, what
Mhm.
we're doing at this point through counseling and, just developing our village of people around us is we are healing through transparency, right? I know that there are people who say, "Oh, we don't argue. Oh, we don't do this." And this may not necessarily be like the link for you or the channel for you because I don't know what type of marriage you have, but um, we don't have that type of marriage, and our friends don't have that type of marriage, or our circle don't have that type of marriage. So we're all just journaling through this, journeying through um, this thing called marriage, and just trying to make the best of it. So
Sounds good to me, babe. Sounds great to me. So we have some topics that we're gonna kind of discuss tonight, right, babe?
yes, yes, we do have some topics that were dear to our heart that we thought that we would like to actually just like tune into and discuss and get some feedback from you guys on what you think about some of these things or your perspective per se.
All right. So I guess we'll get into
Let's just talk about the fact, some of the stats that we looked at about
oh yeah, that'll be a
marriage
good.
and divorce.
Yeah, that's very
Divorce.
good. That's very good. We'll put it up. We got some stats we want to share with you guys. Share the screen with you. So I'll pull up the screen. All right, so chat and family, you guys should be able to see this. So we just kind of, so this is interesting. So we have first common reasons for divorce. Man, lack of commitment. That's 73 to 75% of why when couples decide to call it quit.
Yes, that's not necessarily the whole infidelity, which is also a reason which accounts for less percent of lack of commitment. Lack of commitment is considered is basically where y'all lose interest in the marriage and
Right,
you are not investing in the marriage and you are not tuning into each other. So it is a higher percentage than even infidelity. Infidelity comes in at 50 to 60% after lack of commitment.
which is that's actually kind of I
I
won't
guess it
say
was it was
shocking.
it was it was kind of shocking to me that infidelity was not the first or the main reason
Right,
for
right.
divorce.
I would think, just about hindsight, financial issues would be a high, it's up there, but I think lack of commitment would be the top reasons. Chad, did y'all think that was the reason? That's interesting, stream. Did y'all know if that was the top reason when most people get divorced? So followed by infidelity, which we kind of, probably thought that was one of the
If you think about it, infidelity could probably be, um, you know how you have like a cause and infidelity probably comes in due to if you're not investing in each other,
right,
people typically are
almost
going
like
to
a
be,
byproduct
it's
of
a byproduct of it.
the lack of
Yeah,
commitment.
yeah, I'd say that. Then coming after infidelity is going to be too much conflict
Hmm.
in the marriage. That is constant arguing and no effective communication where
Wow.
you are not, I like to use the words, you don't fight fair.
Hmm. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
You don't fight fair. And that can look like name calling, screaming, you just don't fight fair. You go above and beyond in your conflict. And so that comes in third at 56 to 58%.
So then we have, in which, I thought that was, it would be a higher stat, but financial problems, which, we all, in the world we live in today, guys, I mean, how companies are constantly laying off. Everybody, you have a degree, you got all the companies, the skill set, and you still can't find a valid, sustained work, so you got to reinvent yourself and, find multiple streams of income. But I understand that's very, financial issues are always going to be one of those top.
And in talking to a lot of my, I'd say my female friends, um, for men is the with the financial problems, it is that men cannot function if they feel like there's not enough money or there's not enough income. But that is not always the issue as it relates to financial problems with a lot of women, or my female friends. It's not necessarily that there's not enough money. There may be enough money in a marriage to take care of this, that, and the other. All the bills are paid, the kids are good,
Right,
tuition's paid, everything's good, but you may have one partner, and with my female friends it has been that the husband, the money's there but the husband controls the money. The husband is in control of how the money is spent,
how
when
much
the
is not
money is
explained.
spent,
I'm
right.
just
It's
playing.
but it is that that they're having a problem with that because there is that view or that perspective that even though they may both be working, that the money is controlled or the decision making of the money is controlled
Right.
by the man. And that is a real problem
I
for a
mean,
lot of
I
females.
mean that kind of comes from the, you know, traditional marriage, and that's kind of how it always used to be. The man is the leader of the household, followed by God, of course. Jesus Christ is always the head.
In the traditional marriage, though, babe.
Yeah.
If you think about it, though, we're not living a traditional marriage. Traditionally, women did not leave their house to
Yeah.
earn an income. And so, therefore, yeah, it was expected that, women didn't fight that because they didn't go out and earn money and bring it to the house. Well, now we're living in times where really it takes two, right? It
Right.
takes
Right.
two.
Yeah, it definitely takes two. If you guys are checking out the stream in the chat, let us know if you guys can hear the audio is fine. Don't be a stranger. This is going to be a engaging conversation. So, me and my wife are talking now, but we'll love for you guys to join our community, join the chat. If you want to get on as a guest, that the link is in the description, and also put it in the chat as well. We'll love to kind of hear different perspectives than ours. This is what this channel is about, all growing and, bettering each other. Iron sharpens iron, right? So that's kind of what we're doing.
We are, I would say we're healing through
Yeah,
transparency.
yeah,
Healing through
that's
transparency.
that's a
And
real way to say it.
um marriage is not perfect. And I would say that most people who are married understand that marriage is not perfect. So there is really just no need for any of us to feel judged or
Exactly.
feel like you know, pretend. We're not in the
Hmm.
and when you're healing, there is no room for pretending, right? There's no room for that. There's room for delving deeply, to figure out, as my uncle would say, the root cause of
Right.
what is
Yeah.
causing it. And you have to find that root cause because until you find that root cause, you're just going to be spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning. You're going to be dealing with the same problems over and over again. And those problems can get worse.
Yeah,
And
definitely. You never take the time out to really address like I said, the root cause of what the issue is. Just kind of putting a band-aid over it as you will. So yeah, so we'll be diving deep. Transparency is really kind of what it is.
Transparency. Yes.
All right,
And
so
raw.
being a little raw with it, right?
Being raw.
So the other stat, marrying too young. So that's another. That's 45 to 46%.
Now that's something that we have not experienced because Antoine and I were well, we were 30 when we married, right? So we waited a little bit later. As a matter of fact, most of our friends on my side specifically have children that have graduated from college. Now we do have some of Antoine's frat brothers, they were on the same scope as you.
Yeah,
And so
married
yeah,
later on.
later on, kids later on, all of our kids are pretty much around the same age. Teresa, if you're tuned in, I think we were pretty much knit together, right? And then like
Married.
yeah, Eric, and then my cousin who our
Elston
kids are
has the
growing
same.
into
Yeah,
Elston. Yes, yes, yes. Um, so basically we are not experiencing that, but we do have family who
yeah.
is, and so they're journeying through that.
So we can see how that can be because basically, you it's saying couples who marry in their late teens, early 20s, pretty much face a higher risk as they still are kind of, developing their own individual and their values. So you can kind of see how that could, play a part being too young, marrying, you kind of still finding out who you are, the kind of, so
So one of the things that when we were looking at these stats that was very, very shocking to me is that they were talking about subsequent marriages. Um, so a
see.
lot of times when people are in marriages and they are not willing to really invest in the marriage or really willing to delve deep to figure out what the issues are, their thing is, well, I can go just get with another person and I don't have to deal with this. But what stats say is that the statistics say that second marriages
Hmm.
divorce at a higher rate and third marriages at an even higher rate. So basically, people running to another person is asinine.
Yeah, that's not going to help you.
It's not going to help you. You're going to run to that person with the same issues that you left that last marriage with. So it's probably, I mean, unless you're dealing with some things
Some,
that,
I mean, like significant abuse. Not saying any abuse isn't good, but I mean, it's best to try to, work it out with the person you first committed with. It's gonna be some up and downs. It's not gonna be peach and green all the time, but statistics show you gotta leave that marriage. Second marriage, third marriage, you're gonna get divorced at a higher rate than your first marriage. So just kind of keep that in mind. Right?
now, also keep in mind, we are not talking to people who are getting their head banged up against the wall, right? If
Yeah,
you're
that's
getting
definitely.
your head banged up against the wall, my advice is to you is going to be call 911 and get a TPO and get out of it. Okay. We're not talking to you if, and I'm not just talking to women. There are men out here that's getting their heads banged up against the wall. If that's happening to you, I would suggest that you
Lexi
get out
coming
of
in.
it.
Shout out to our cousin Lexi
Hey,
and Jimmy.
Lexi.
They'll probably be joining the stream a little later. Just get another perspective. So like I said, feel free to join the live stream, comment, share it, like it. Like I said, we want an open engagement, transparency. We're just all trying to build each other up. So this is what this is about. So yeah, don't be shy. Comment and stream. So all right, let's continue on. We have this why divorce rates differ among groups. You want to get into that a little bit?
We can do that or we can delve into the topics. It's up to you.
Yeah. I think let's go into the topic. Let's go into the
Okay.
topic. So right here. All right, so stream. We got a couple topics that we want to get into, and if you have any any suggestions, please feel free. But so the first topic, marriage relationship topic. So let's see, couples working together. What you think, man?
I
Let's
was
go
thinking
down.
maybe we could talk a little bit about, because some of the things that I think are some of the most pressing issues are things such as finances, things such as, infidelity.
Hmm.
Let's delve a little bit deeper. Um, Intimacy, sex,
Okay.
what's
Okay.
expected, when
Okay.
it's withheld, what does that mean? What is it? Is that right? Are you
Right.
allowed to? What it,
Hmm.
all those things. So I
Yeah.
was thinking that, but what do you think? What do you want to talk about?
No, those are good conversations. I mean, that's so intimacy and what was the other subject you said? Finance.
Finances, intimacy, finances, and another thing, communication.
Yeah.
Communication with
All right.
infidelity. How do you get through that? What are some steps that people can take to try to get through that, right?
All right. Yeah. Let's get into it, man. So if you are you asking me a specific question with that, bud? I see what you're doing to me, chat. Screen.
Okay, let's start on one of the let's start on the lighter side, okay? Let's start with communication.
All right.
Um I guess we can be a little bit raw with ourselves, right? In our marriage. Like, what are some of the ways that I guess that I have communicated to you that you did not like, and what was the effect of it? And what are some of the ways that I have, or what would you tell someone if you had a sister, or you had a sister, but if you were talking to your sister and your sister called you and said, okay, my husband was doing this, my husband was yelling at me, what would be your first question?
Hmm. So if you saying if I had a sister and she called me to say her husband was yelling at
He
her,
was yelling at her. He was, if there was an issue and she needed to discuss this issue with her husband who did not want to hear about this issue, what would be a way that she could get through to her husband to hear her? Because I know a lot of times we as women, what we will do is bogart our way into a conversation, right? Like I know that I'm guilty of that. And I know lots of women that's kind of like guilty of that. Like when we want to talk about something,
right?
we want to talk about it. And our approach isn't necessarily that soft, fluffy stuff that I keep hearing from you and my male friends that y'all want to hear. So if you could tell a female or sister or friend or coworker
Yeah.
how to approach a man to discuss a topic that he doesn't necessarily want to discuss, how would you tell them to approach that person?
I would say, well, so the two-part question. So my sister called me and asked me if, since her husband was kind of arguing with her,
Hmm.
because you really don't know the whole situation. So,
You
but
never do.
I would definitely that's not right. But as bro and sis, I would be like, hey, sis, of course that's not right. He yelling at you, but is there anything that you could be doing to maybe lighten the mood or change his interaction with you? Not blaming you for it, but I'm just saying, like, is there anything? Is it your tone? Is it the approach? Because we always say it's always, as we learn in school, it's not really what you say, it's kind of how you say it, kind of thing. So it could be a softer way, as you mentioned, more the feminine way. We got as males. Like you said, we do have egos that can be damaged and scarred pretty swiftly, especially by the woman that we supposed to our wife. They can really cut us deep. So, and I just speak with
Why
me.
is that?
I just say with me that your wife can kind of really get up under your skin because you're our partner. We want I think most men want their wife to kind of view them as not you're not perfect, but just as you're the leader, so you want to be looked up to. You want to be appreciated. You want to be valued. And I think that's a lot of things that
So that's real to you guys, pretty much is what you're saying. That is a
yeah, for
real
sure.
thing, and that cuts you if she doesn't.
Yeah. And then, also with us too, like, as men, being competitive sports, we may not always have the right approach in terms of speaking. I know with me specifically, I don't really mean that by it, but on the women's side, you guys may not yell, but you guys could do a little, it's subtle kind of,
Yeah,
it's
subtle,
subtle, but it
subtle.
still cuts kind of the same. So, but it could be it's both work that can be done on both parts with I say with our relationship that I could kind of be I need to kind of slow down my reaction to kind of think and just kind of lower my voice at times. And then I guess with you, I see just it's not yelling, but it's more of a condescending
Condescending.
kind of approach.
Yeah,
So it could be the same kind of scenario.
it's the same type of probably response that you're gonna get. But I guess I still view you as Antoine I dated a lot of the times as opposed to Antoine I married.
Right,
I feel, and in research and counseling, I have learned that a lot of times um, men become more vulnerable with their wives than they ever were with their girlfriends.
right,
We know you guys on a deeper level, and so I guess that would have some form of a reaction. When I think about it, I think about one particular time that you and I were arguing a little bit, and Janice came over, and I remember witnessing her because you were like all the way gone. I remember witnessing her get down on her knee, like literally kneeling and disarming you. And I'm thinking, is that Janice crazy? But you literally went from 10,000 to 5. And I think I learned something, and I know I learned something from that, but implementing it is something that I'm working on.
yeah, it's
And
kind of
so,
hard to seeing somebody do it and actually trying to do it, at the given time. And when, like I said, a lot of times we always got to give each other grace because we're learning as we go through this. I mean, we're not nobody's marriage experts, guys. That's why it's a village with this stuff. I mean, I know for us, being me and my wife particularly, um, come from broken homes. I mean, I know our parents
mhm.
did the best we could. Single parent for me, single parent for my wife. So that's something that we kind of committed as a couple. I mean, for our
Divorce
kids,
is not
divorce
a
is not really on the option for us. We kind of get through it, and we don't want to break that kind of, I won't say a curse, but just
no, it's definitely a curse. It's one of
yeah, we
those
just kind of
people
wanted
talk
to.
generational curses. That's definitely what it is.
So that was a commitment that we definitely made to us, our family, to just stick it out. Of course, we're not crazy, but we gonna do our best to kind of work through whatever we got to work through for the sake of our family. It's a duty. We committed to us, we committed to God. So that's something that we're gonna keep, steadfast. So, what do you think now, baby? You wanted to get in? I wanted to see did Lacey want to join now? Do you want to take a break, or do you want to kind of keep into? Is
Hey,
she
Alexis,
available?
are you available to join you and Jimmy?
Hit her. She not on the chat. You might have to hit her on the just hit her on the text and just say, you know.
Okay. Yes, thank you, dear.
It's our daughter's peeping in, y'all.
They're always checking on us. They got to make sure we're okay. Let's see. I think she said that she was going to sit this one out or just listen.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah,
she's even gonna set it
they're,
out.
they're they're
Oh
sitting
yeah,
this
yeah.
one
That's
out.
fine. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
they're
didn't know.
they're sitting this one out,
Let's
Alexis.
go. Let's go. All right,
Okay.
let's get into it. Hold on. So, all right. So cool.
You want to
Um,
talk financial next?
yeah. So that's. Whew,
That's your main topic.
yeah, finance, guys. So that's hmm, which that's one of the most common reasons for a divorce, man. Finance. And it's interesting because as being a man in a relationship, and I'll just speak to me. It's going to happen. Hopefully, I can have my wife not working, not in the workforce. Of course, she loves to work regardless, so I can't really get out of there. But most men, if I had to, I could have put in the poll, but we would love to be the breadwinner for our family. I've been there at one point. I'm not there now. My wife is actually, we both work, full-time jobs. We got business, we got other stuff going. Um, but as of late, my wife has been working a lot. Actually, she's been taking over most of the financial load. Even though I do have a job, she's making more than me. I ain't afraid to admit it. But that's part of us working together and just kind of being as a team, to can I speak on will fill you in or you want to keep it kind of private doing a lot?
Fine with both.
Um well I'm not going so I say I'm not going too much in detail about it, but she's able to find I would say this is one of the things she's been wanting to do anyway. So she's actually in the field. It's healthcare. I just been it's in the healthcare field, and so she's actually doing tremendous work in that field. So and she's able to find employment pretty fast, and that's been kind of keeping us. I won't say afloat, but that's just it's been helping the family out a lot, and that's kind of what it is. Meaning, so I'm basically saying that as gentlemen, I know that's kind of difficult for us to hear at times. We want to be the sole breadwinner, which I am, will be, but I understand that at this particular time, the economy we just talked about, a lot of, corporations, headquarters are being laid off. I mean, we already know right now what's going on with the economy. So, if you find your partner being able to find gainful employment before you do, sir, don't take it as a dig to you. You're a family, you guys are a team. So, just kind of keep that in mind.
And I think that that's, maybe it's natural for guys because of ego, right? Like I've heard this across the board or whatever. But also females, when you are in that position, also don't throw it in his face, right? Like
And that's a big
whether
one.
he's saying anything about it or he's saying he's not mentioning that, whether he's like the type of guy that's like macho and just egotistical and that is going to try to like give you grief about it, or whether he's a guy that's going to be more thankful. If he's a guy that's going to be more thankful, he's still feeling bad about it, right? He's still feeling, no matter how much he's doing, and he could be picking up the majority of everything else, he's still gonna feel something about it if he's a man, because that's just in their nature,
Yeah,
right? So do not throw it in their face, right? Do not make them feel less than, or intentionally make them feel less than, or anything like that, right? Because that's not a good feeling for them. It's just not good for them. So, and you don't want that.
no, you definitely don't want that. You definitely don't want that. What else they talking about, guys? I did want to talk about education and income.
Hmm.
And so it says college educated individuals are more so this is interesting. Education income. College educated individuals are much less likely to divorce than those with only
Wow.
high school education. Interesting. So higher income can
Over 50.
decrease, with 50,000 can decrease
Wow.
the divorce rate. So basically what they're saying, which I think we all know, is kind of ties into, finance kind of too, right? There where, if it's not, if you got the world is changing with the college degrees. It's kind of funny to say that, but it's still I would definitely encourage you to go to college. But um,
Do you think maybe couples who are educated actually think more on a business type field as opposed to emotionally? Maybe
what you
saying like, for with it saying that people who are college educated are less likely to divorce, right? They're higher income.
hmm
Maybe they look at it more from a business perspective, marriage, because marriage is a business, right? Maybe they look at it more in a business mindset, as even just like emotionally, instead of saying, okay, we have these problems.
hmm
However, we have this bill, we've done this, we've done that. We have this that we have to pay. We have children that still have to go to college. Because college teaches you all those
right,
things, right?
right.
And maybe that is the reason that they divorce less. Maybe that's the reason that they have a lower divorce rate
Yeah.
as opposed to someone who's not college educated, because they're more than likely just thinking emotionally.
Shout out to the Williams family,
I
Darren and Bree. I see y'all in the comment. Shout out to y'all, man. If y'all want to join, I know y'all might want to just view the stream tonight, which is cool. But we're definitely gonna have a future stream, guys. We'd love to have y'all on. So shout out to the Williams family, Bree and Darren. But yeah, so yeah, so I did want to get into this societal shifts though.
Societal shifts,
Meaning, so
meaning,
all right,
okay,
so meaning, so women. So it's funny when women so it's funny economic independence for women, right? So
okay.
improved earning power means women are no longer financially tethered to an unhappy or abusive marriage. So okay, that's funny, y'all. So basically, what they're saying is like back in the day, I don't know, women weren't working and weren't earning wages. I guess they had to rely on their husbands or the men to kind of take care of the family. Now they in the workforce. I mean, they're in C-suite.
Yep.
They are, basically starting to, boss babes all around. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
well, women are rocking some things. We're gonna give them a
Uh,
little bit of props, but
Man, they doing it. So that can be another good win for us guys. But that also, like I said, what I'm saying, that also leads to women thinking, "What? I don't need no man." You know what I'm saying? We just kind of messed up. We all need each other, but they kind of the thing is because of that, they making their own money. They got their own house. They got a car, own careers. I mean, what a man is optional. They don't need a man. They want.
it's
Right.
societal, baby. And then this is the thing too,
Mm-hmm.
in reference to that. It is going to be based upon a few things, right? Whether that woman deems that she did. First off, society says they're pushing it. Society's pushing
Oh yeah. Oh
men.
yeah. Oh
You
yeah.
do understand society's pushing that men are not needed, right?
Man, that's
It's
all
a
over the
whole
place.
there is a whole scheme out here that men are not needed in the household. Women can handle it. The government will help the women. This person
Yeah,
will help. They got all sorts of programs to
for
help.
sure, for sure.
However, so you have that's going on, but then you also have there are some men that are contributing to this because it doesn't help that if a woman, me speaking from my friends and my people and the people that I'm around, my circle of, and just talking to them, because I'm surrounded by some women that they make some moves, okay?
Oh
I'm
yeah, for
making some
sure.
moves, but they make some moves. But, you know, um, there are some that say, because of the moves that they make, it's almost like their husbands or their partners the jealousy of it and they want to break them down. That is a real
That's a real thing.
problem. That's a real thing and that's a real problem.
That's a real
So I
thing.
guess the question is how a man with his ego and we talk about ego as if ego is a bad thing, but ego makes a man, right?
Right.
Ego is a part of being a man. How as a woman do you
Mm-hmm.
how do you succeed in your careers, your goals, and do the things that I feel God has placed you on this earth? Because we're in a different time. We're not just yeah, we're here. We're supposed to cater to our husbands and raise our kids, but we're in a
Right.
different time. We're modern. I know we don't
Oh
like
yeah,
the
we
word
definitely
modern day women, but we are modern women and we're doing more than that.
exactly.
So how is it that we journey through that without making our husbands feel that they must lessen us?
Right.
How do we do that?
Wow, wow. Stream chat. Let us know how the audio is coming through. I saw some peaks in the audio. I just want to make sure that you guys can hear us clearly or thoroughly, I would say. Give us a brief. So if y'all are streaming or watching. Thank y'all for watching. Just give us a brief second. I'm gonna go to a brief break. I gotta do some housekeeping real bit. We'll be right back. Okay.
30 seconds.
All right, we back. We back. Green, we are back. Please like, subscribe. You know all the good stuff for YouTube, y'all. Please do all that for us. We're trying to grow this channel, grow the community. So we're back. So the question, my wife, before we went to the little break, so how can wives not make their husbands feel, how can wives succeed without making their husbands feel less than?
Inferior. Yeah, like how is it that we achieve our personal goals, which let's just be real, it helps the family. How do we do that without making you guys feel um inferior? Like I know that sometimes joy can look like gloating, right? Like
Hmm,
if someone's already like if their ego's already wounded, right?
yeah.
So how does a wife, how do we finagle that? How do we do that?
I mean, I would say for me, uh, it's kind of hard because, like I said, our egos are pretty fragile. But just kind of looking at the long term goals of things. We all. I mean, I know we're a family, so we have family goals. But then I know, as an individual, you have individual goals as well. You know, and I'm for the greater good of the family. So for me, it's kind of like, I think we both can shine. To be totally honest, it's not really. It's both room for both couples, even though we're together, but we still kind of have individual aspects of us as well that we want to achieve in life. It's like anybody else. So,
But what things can a wife do? So let's just say the wife has achieved some great big goal that's going to bring in an additional 50,000 a year, and the
mhm.
husband is not necessarily where he wants to be in his career.
Hmm.
How can the wife
See your face.
celebrate that achievement without making her husband feel less than? What does that look like?
That's a tough question, man. So, ooh,
Can anyone else tune in? Like, what are ways that a wife can still achieve her goals, still shine without making her husband feel like he's less than or he's inadequate? What are things that how does a wife how do we do that? How do we because we certainly don't want to achieve our goals and then just stifle them in the bag and just shut up about them, right? Like we don't want to have to do that. But how do you it's almost like we have to no matter what we're doing and this is like my challenge, babe, but not only my challenge, but a lot of women I've talked to. It's like we have to always consider the ego, right?
all right.
And I will be honest with you, from me and a lot of other women that I've talked to, it's a challenge and it's exhausting.
Meaning what?
It
Meaning,
is extremely exhausting. It's like, um, before coming with anything, I have to like I can't just come and have a conversation. I've got to I have to prepare for that conversation, right? I have to say to myself, okay, I need to go tell him this, or I need to go talk to him about this. But before I go talk to him, okay, so how am I going to say this? And what tone am I going to use? And how am I going to look? How's my face needing to look? Like, it can be quite exhausting for a female. So,
I mean, I think communication is the key of it. Meaning, so it shouldn't be with a lot of surprises. If you're thinking about something, like I said to you, I think I've said it to you before, just kind of like I won't say over communicate, but just don't under communicate things. Like even if you have thinking about an idea, I'm saying you gotta be telling me everything, but just kind of speak to me about it. So I'm not just in the blind. You're not telling me for the first time, or it's not a big change. Not you got. to I mean, you got to tell me everything, but I would just like to be in the know. I think that's kind of how it could probably help. That basically, if you have an idea, you're thinking about a different business opportunity idea or something you want to do, just kind of engage your husband up front about it. Like, babe, I'm thinking about doing this. I mean, what are your thoughts on it? I mean, and then kind of go from there and don't kind of do it and then let us know at the end, even though you're still in your individual people, but that's kind of how I would like to receive it. I would just like to know
and
ahead
I
of time or, what you're thinking about.
and I think that that brings us to another topic of basically knowing the background of the person you marry, right? Like, people think that you date, like a lot of people, and I think we thought that too. You
Most
date,
definitely.
you get to know a person, and then you marry them, right? But I don't think most people realize you don't get to know someone until after you're married. And it's
Hmm.
like that's when you delve into the family and you see all of the family dynamics, because when you're dating, those family dynamics are hidden.
All right.
And so then you delve into all the family dynamics and you get to know like intricate details about things. Like one thing you mentioning that is very important. And I don't think that we've ever addressed that
What?
aspect of how I will just make a decision
Oh
and
yeah.
then come to you later about the decision. But um,
Hmm.
one of the reasons that I do that, and this is not an excuse, 'cause I know you like to say no excuses, but it's not an excuse. But one of the reasons is that I think you know a lot about my past and
Yeah.
growing up. And as a kid, I had to make a lot of
I
decisions.
want to get to so
Survival.
so
Yeah.
Bree and Darren actually commented. So like the Williams commented. So Bree basically said, I think husbands need to support just as wives support the husbands.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which is very, yeah, very, 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 very true. You have to understand that your hurt ego doesn't do anything but hurt the relationship.
I agree.
So it's real. And Darren said, show him he's worth. Make him feel like he's a six figure, even though the wife is the breadwinner. So I see what he's saying about
I
that part of it.
understand. I agree with
Gotta
that too.
make him feel that he's equal in communication and emotion.
What do you, okay,
Communicating this, so Bree basically said, like we just said, communication really is really the key behind all of this.
I do believe that. Okay, so let's delve a little bit into what their perspective is. So Rhea saying that the hurt ego will hurt the relationship.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
can identify with that. The hurt ego can hurt the relationship. In addition, and I think that she would say the same thing, it is exhausting.
What you mean?
It is exhausting. Um, the ego makes a man. We're not going to be like all these women saying, toxic masculinity. We're not going there. We're going to start talking about toxic masculinity, and because let's be real. If we're any kind, if we're the alpha females that we say that we are,
Right.
we do not want weak men. We don't want it. I can't deal. Listen, I dated them. I got rid of them. I don't need a man that is going to bow to me every single time I come to him with something. What I do need is a
Mm,
man that can lead, but I do not need a man that is going to lead with complete force. I need a man that is going to lead me, especially due to the nature of my history and things. I need a man that is going to lead me with love and understanding. And that doesn't mean that sometimes he's not going to lovingly tell me, hey, babe, I love you, but that is not what's in the best interest, and we're not going to do that. That does not mean that, he's still gonna lead, but I don't need forceful leading because I had to lead myself as a kid.
right.
Um, as it comes down to the things that I achieve,
Mm-hmm.
those things are real to me from because of where I came from, right? And Bree, I know a lot about you. So those things are real to her because we weren't born with silver spoons in our mouths and we had
Yeah.
a rough upbringing, right? So when we make these achievements and things of that nature, when I I will be honest with you, because of my history and my upbringing and you being able to sit here and just like outwardly admit that I'm making more, right? That was big for you because that wasn't easy for you, and I know it wasn't.
Yeah.
But
Well,
because of that, but when I
right
achieved
now.
that, when
It's right
right
now.
now I get it, but when
Yeah.
I achieved that, that was real for me, Twan, because it wasn't easy. Because you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? That wasn't an easy thing for me, and um that was a huge accomplishment for me.
Yeah, I know. That's why I
So
mentioned
being
it.
able to share that with you is very important with me.
Yeah, that's why I mentioned
To me, it was very important to me.
something just to fill you
And
back.
if you had if your approach is, a negative approach, that that really would hurt a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. I try to, like I said, it's a we in this together. It's kind of more of a. I mean, I know we got egos, but it's just society has changed. Like I said, you guys are in the C-suite. You guys, are, opportunities are coming. You guys wait. Which and with me guys, I have daughters, so I love it to be honest. I mean, it's still a man's world. I had to say that, but women are definitely getting their just due. They're just as educated, just as the opportunities are there, and I'm actually proud of it. I mean, like I said, I got daughters, so
But also,
um,
let's look at Darren said that,
yeah,
we
damn, yeah,
need to make them, and I agree with that. I agree that we need to step outside of ourselves sometimes, ladies,
yeah,
and
make us feel like give us
yeah,
that.
we
We
have
need
to
that
do that.
motivation, man.
We gotta eat, we have to, whether we want to or not, we're gonna have to feed that ego sometimes.
We have to. That's the only way. That's really we don't have the ego from our like I said. If our wives don't give us that push, that belief, that encouragement. Babe, I know you got it. You good. I know you may be hurting right now. I know you got it. You got the capabilities. I know you. I'm here to support you through thick and thin. If you don't hear that, it's almost kind of like, I'm saying you won't do it for yourself, but you need that push. You need that encouragement. You need that uplifting, from your partner, man, just to kind of, give you that. Okay, she believes in me. She understands me. She's encouraging me. She loves me. She's there for me. Even though it may not be where I may want to be right now. Career wise, goal wise, I mean, anything like that. So we definitely need that. We definitely need that. So and it's funny. So I did want so we continue on with the societal shifts and influencing trends. This is huge in which no fault divorce laws. What you think about that? Meaning, basically, legal change in every state now allow for divorce without any proven guilt. I mean, so basically, it's like you kind of
That's irreconcilable
that's.
differences. That's always been there, though. Irreconcilable differences has always been a reason for divorce.
What do y'all think about that, chat? Like that's to me. I'm just being honest. You shouldn't be able to get a divorce because you had a disagreement or something. I mean, like, come on, man. Like that's what you go into it for if you can quickly because you don't agree with something or
Yeah, but it's not that cut and dry, babe. An irreconcilable difference type divorce.
is that saying the
If
same
you
thing? No fault divorce?
It is a no fault divorce, but both people have to agree to that. And if one is fighting it, then it doesn't become that. It's not that easy. It's not that cut and dry to get a divorce based upon irreconcilable differences, which is a no fault divorce, right? Like it's not. It's just saying that basically says that something happened within the confinement of that marriage. They can't get over it. They both agree that they can't get over it. They can't reconcile, and we're both agreeing to just disband this. If one person decides that they don't agree with that, then you're going to go into something else, and you're not going to be able to get that divorce based upon irreconcilable differences. That's just not how that works.
And then the last one following up social acceptance. Basically the declining stigma around divorce has led more people to prioritize personal
Hmm.
fulfillment and mental health over maintaining a failing union. Hmm. So basically, you're just kind of, well, society's kind of making it almost acceptable for you to just leave your marriage if you're not, happy or, basically prioritize
Yeah.
yourself over the
Well, that
family.
goes into the whole thing of, and Jeremy and I have had this conversation where everything is like, oh, he doesn't make you happy. He doesn't, you're not happy with him.
Hmm.
Let me just say something. And this is not going to be a popular belief, but being married to someone has nothing to do with happiness. And I mean nothing. It has nothing to do with happiness. It has a lot to do with a lot of other things, but not happiness.
Yeah.
One thing is no one on this planet can make you happy. Happiness is a thing, is first off, happiness is a choice. And it's a choice that you make from within, okay?
We shouldn't be
It
trying to
starts
not
within.
make people happy, of course, but
I'm not saying do things
that's
go
not
make
our
people
duty. Yeah.
miserable, but no outside force can cause your happiness or even your unhappiness, right? They can get on your nerves. Oh, they can definitely get on your nerves, but as far as like making you internally unhappy,
Yeah, that's more.
mm-mm.
Yeah, that's kind of that's
Dude,
you pretty
yeah,
much.
marriage serves a greater purpose than happiness.
It's a duty. Is you committed. In front of God. I mean, so it's not about happy. I remember even Pastor Cosby mentioned that when we went
Yeah.
counseling, marriage counseling. Marriage isn't about happy. Like I said, that doesn't mean to make your partner unhappy. Of course, it would be better if you guys are happy. Of course, but that's not the real reason to get married because he makes me happy. He makes me feel good. He gives me butterflies. I'm not saying you shouldn't do those type of things, but that is not the sole reason
Oh,
behind
they're gonna
marriage.
have those butterflies when you get married. And when I talk to young couples, I'm like, and they're just like, oh, I feel this, oh, I feel that. Those feelings
Yeah, the
change.
honeymoon
Honestly,
stage.
it goes from the butterflies and the
Hmm.
flitters and whoa, this is the greatest person to this man is getting on my nerves, but I internally deeply love this man.
Right, right.
So how
Sometimes my
can I
wife,
help him?
sometimes your spouse will get on your nerves. You ain't gonna like them all the time. Sometimes I don't like. I love my wife, but sometimes I don't like her. My wife loves me. Sometimes she don't like me. That's just the nature of it. We just because you know you learn to deal with it and grow with it, and hopefully that'll disband itself at times kind of go on. But it may not. But you understand as a couple that you got different views. Different areas of growing up. You have different agreements about things. You're not always going to always agree about everything. You can agree to disagree is what they say, and that's kind of how you got to do it. Not bicker, not fight about it. We're all adults here. We all can agree to disagree about different things, but at the end of the day, understand that we're a family union. We move as a unit. We're not always, like I said, we're not always gonna get along, but understand that at the end of the day, we're a family. And we're all adults here, so we all can kind of move forward. Just like anything, any other conflict you have to deal with. Whether that's a relationship, friends, family, or in the workplace, you always got to deal with kind of
Every
conflict. So
relationship, every relationship, every relationship goes through something, whether it be family, friends, um, your workplace. You're going to go through things with people you work with. You have to learn to resolve conflict in a healthy manner, right? You have
right,
to
right,
resolve it healthily and you must fight fair, right?
yeah,
In whatever relationship that you're in, specifically, especially the most important relationship that you're ever going to be in is not the relationship between a daughter and father or a mother and son or even you and your children. No, parents and children, that's not the most important relationship. The most important relationship you will ever have is your spouse because your mother and father are going to die. We've experienced that, right?
both our mothers have passed along. Yeah,
Your children are going to grow up and they are going to go and be with their own spouses and they are going to be
they have
gone.
their own family. Which I won't say own family, but they're gonna be try to
Yeah.
live their lives.
Yeah.
So we do have some comments. Laverine actually comment back. So Laverine, hey Laverine, how you doing,
Hi.
sweetheart? She's Laverine speaks. Happiness comes from within. We just need to share it. That's
I
real.
believe that. Yeah. Happiness does
Yeah,
come
it doesn't
within.
come from like you just talked about. It's something that you got to be happy. Your partner. Not saying that your partner should not make you happy, of course, but you got to be happy with yourself, and then you can share the happiness. And then Bree also coming. Happiness is a byproduct of being married.
Yes, it is,
It's not
Bree.
the free. It's not the
No, it
end
is.
all to be all. A
Yes.
lot of people get married because they feel like they're happy. I'm not saying you should. Not saying you shouldn't be happy.
You
Just make
should
sure
be in the
that
beginning. Now, if you
that's
marry
not
somebody and you don't feel happy, we got a problem.
that's not what we're saying. But happiness is, like you said, is a byproduct of marriage, and It's not the reason two individuals should be getting married. So yeah, that's definitely that's
And it's
making sure.
definitely not the reason why two individuals should be making a decision to stay married or not married
And that's
or
really
ending
key.
the marriage.
Yeah, just because you're not feeling happy at this particular time, because emotions can go up and down. So one day you may be feeling this way, and another day you may be feeling another way. So you can't really look at the totality, look at across the board. You guys are committed to each other long term. It's always gonna be peachy and creamy all the time. Well, that's not the case. I mean, come on, it's not gonna happen all the time. But understand at the end of the day, you guys are committed. You guys have family. You have kids together. You're trying to build a legacy. So that requires commitment, throughout the hard, the bad, the good, the ugly. Like I said, you just got to kind of manage through those things.
And I think that it's definitely a choice, right? I think one of the things that Antoine and I had discussed prior, and we've been through some things, but one of the things that we discussed prior to
Okay.
marriage was that the D word was not an option, right?
So,
So, like, no matter what, the D word wasn't an
chat, can
option.
y'all hear us on the stream? We got a message saying you guys cannot hear us on the stream. Just put a one in the chat if y'all can hear us. Let's see. Please check. Outdoor saying, can you guys still hear us if you're looking at the stream? Hear us on the stream. I can hear. Put a one in the chat if y'all can hear us.
That's
Yeah.
there. Okay.
Can you guys still hear us if you're looking at the stream? Okay, that's the stream right now. I just checked the stream. If y'all in the stream, you have a relationship with you. So Laverine or Bree or Darren, can y'all just put a one in the chat? So Laverine just coming again, baby. You have a relationship with you and God first. If you're not a Christian, then you have to learn to have a relationship with the different people because there is the good, bad, and the ugly of their own. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So like I said, you gotta have a relationship with God first.
Totally agree.
Yeah. That is
Totally
that is
agree.
that is true. You have to. You definitely have to. So I don't see anything wrong with that.
I think it's working. We just have to let I don't know.
Yeah, I
It's
don't know what
working.
this talking
Okay.
about. All right.
So we discussed finances. We discussed, I think the last thing for tonight, because
Yeah.
we have how many minutes before
We was
we
trying to
have,
end the stream, our stream, well, right in the
so
stream for
we'll do let's do a 10 to 15 minute segment on, but oh, I
what?
wanted to do, we
What?
needed to do infidelity, but we also needed to discuss intimacy. Let's discuss
Hmm.
intimacy.
Yeah, so this will be the
Intimacy.
last topic stream chat. And like I said, we're gonna be having more live streams in the future. Like I said, we're gonna hopefully invite some more guests on. This is our very first one, so we definitely appreciate everybody, checking in, taking the live stream, sharing and liking this live stream. Please, like I said, like, subscribe. Some more couples like us, young couples that trying to go through this marriage life. They're gonna actually get this information and so please share and like. So they did put ones in the stream so they can hear us.
Okay.
Right. Um. All right, so so the last topic, like my wife was saying, we'll talk about intimacy, like basically how often you should be intimate or what.
How often you should be intimate. So I try to go back to Antoine and I are Christians, so we do go consult, biblical principles with a lot of things, and I know with a lot of females, and I've been guilty of this myself when I'm upset or I'm not feeling something, the thing that goes out the window is intimacy. And
Hmm.
what I mean by intimacy, I'm not talking about the cuddling and hugging, ladies. I'm talking about sex. Okay. Um, that has been one of the things that goes out the window. And so, would you like to, babe, you want to talk about the importance of sex for a man?
Episode 2. Darren say episode 2. Yeah, we definitely gonna be having this other episode, Darren. We're gonna hope y'all can come on, you and Bree, other couples, Darren, Cerise, Eric, and Cole, just other people, just this is a community thing, man. We're trying to do this thing together, bro. So yeah, we definitely have some other episode. But to answer your question, babe, um, intimacy, that is very, very important in a marriage. I mean,
For a man,
yeah, yeah, it's definitely for a man. Y'all know that, man. That's how we connected, to our wives. That's
men are
kind of
connected through
that's
to
how
their wives, yeah, through intimacy, through
that's
sex, pretty
that's
much.
that's very, very important for us,
And I
man.
think it's important for men to understand that women are connected. by other forms of intimacy, and intimacy doesn't start in the bedroom for a woman.
Yeah.
It literally starts
Yeah.
sometimes days before. And if they are not getting those things that they need, then the sexual aspect goes out the window for them. They don't really care for it.
So it's like a
It's
like a
it's
cycle,
a
man. That's
cycle. It
crazy.
is definitely a cycle. Well, it's 9:01. So
Yeah.
it is time for us to end this chat. Going into session 2, we will discuss more about intimacy,
Yeah, we'll talk
more
a little bit more
about
about it.
a little bit more about we're going to discuss infidelity.
And also chat, stream, family, friends, in the comments, anything you guys would like, to talk about that we should cover as well in terms of relationship and marriage couple guidance. Like I said, hopefully, in the future you guys will join the stream. As you can see, I just kind of show you, we'll have you guys. And like I said, no pressure, definitely no pressure, but I do have it set up that we can invite guests, and as you can see, this would be, guest one, guest two, guest three. So we'll kind of be able to kind of share your screen. And we'll just we all can kind of get on this thing together.
And discuss
So that's
things
kind of
that
how,
are of
of
importance
importance
or
that
whatever.
some topics that we have missed, or, in the relationship, you guys want to share any feedback or any guidance that you can share with us, with the audience, that'll definitely be helpful. So,
I think what we should do is let them know when our next live stream is going to be. It's going to be this upcoming Thursday night, same time, same place. So upcoming Thursday night. What date is that, babe? This
Thursday,
Thursday, is it?
let's see,
That
what's
is
that?
going to be. So yes, January the 8th, 2026. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year, everybody.
So January the 8th, 2026 at 8 p.m., we will come back here. If you are interested in actually joining us as a
Yeah,
co-host or
yeah, call us.
guest,
Yeah,
um,
yeah, exactly.
then please let us know in advance. Let us know, just text us or whatever. Everybody has our number. And then we will look forward to joining here on January the 8th, 2026 at 8 p.m. Thank you guys for
Hey,
joining
appreciate it,
us.
fam.
All right.
All right, see y'all on the next one. Have a
All
good
right.
one.
Good night.
All right, bye.